getting ready to start our city council meeting. Everyone ready? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first city council meeting of 2022. Madam Clerk, could you do roll call, please?
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Rivera.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Mozio. Here. Alderman Kirkwood. Mayor Taylor.
Present. We have the invocation by Pastor Deborah McCorley. Is she present? Okay, Alderman Bolton, would you like to give the invocation, please?
May we bow our heads. Father God, we just give you the thanks and for this new beginning of new year. We thank you that your presence is ever with us, your spirit is ever guiding us. And Lord, as we go through this agenda, you've given us how to discern and be strategic in our decision making. Bless each council member, our mayor, as well as our constituents and our departments. And we thank you, oh God, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Alderman Bolton. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor's comments. First and foremost, I want to start by wishing everyone a very happy new year and a healthy new year. I hope that 2022 brings you health, happiness, love, and compassion. I want to thank everybody who's here tonight that braved the cold to join us this evening. And for those of you who are at home watching, well, we're just jealous. Let me say that. I want to start off by offering our condolences, first to the family and friends of the original scooper, Dick Breen, who owned and operated Ma and Pa's convenience store on Lewis for years and was known to be a kind-hearted to his clientele. He was also a charter member and officer of Mischief's Car Club. The club was instrumental in reestablishing the Scoop. Also, condolences to John Davis, who passed away this morning. Many of you may know him from the American Legion. I'd also want to express our deepest sympathies and condolences to the family of the well-known musician Donnie O'Reilly, who entertained throughout Waukegan and the surrounding communities for well over 45 years. On behalf of the city, I want to offer a huge thank you to all the sponsors, participants, and supporters of the 23rd annual Waukegan Polar Bear Plunge. The plunge is the largest fundraiser for the special recreation services in the Waukegan Park District. I also want to recognize our own 9th Ward Alderman, Tom Hayes, for being the only brave city official to actually do the plunge. Thank you to David and Jane of our Public Relations Department, our firefighters, police officers, and Public Works who helped with this event and made it possible. I also want to reach out and thank Public Works for their quick action when the snow hit Waukegan this weekend. Your hard work maintains Waukegan's reputation for being one of the best cities in keeping our streets clean and clear. And as a reminder to all our residents, alternative parking is year-round, and it helps make our snowplow team do their job the best they can. We've issued a number of tickets for alternative parking and will continue to do so in order to keep our streets safe and clean. The city is currently collecting holiday lights for anybody who is got extra lights or not going to use them in the future and would like to donate them to the city. We would love to have them. We would prefer LED lights if possible, but please, anything that you don't think you're going to use in the future, we would be open for donations. You can donate those lights by calling our Chief of Staff, George Bridges, at 847-599-2501. There are some very important dates coming up that I want you to take some notes of. So if you're at home, please grab a pencil and paper. First, for anybody who wants to do special events next year, special events applications are open for the 2022 year calendar starting next Monday, January 10th. Dates for the events are secured based on the order that applications are completed. Changes have been made to the instructions for the application process, which are available on the city's website at www.waukeganil.gov. You must also complete an application in person at City Hall Licensing Department starting January 10th as well. I'm sorry, I said you must. You can complete it here at City Hall, or you can do it online. Now, the key there is, I said completed application. It means if you and somebody else put in for the same date, but one of you does not have the application complete, it will go to the completed application. Next important date, on January 17th from 10 to 12 p.m., the Waukegan Township will be hosting the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dreams Breakfast virtually. Tickets are available at waukegantownship.com. Third important date, the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County, known as SWELCO, is hosting 2 household chemical waste collections this month by appointment only. The first collection will be Saturday, January 8th, and the second will be Saturday, January 22nd. For more information about what qualifies as chemical waste and scheduling an appointment, visit swelco.org. That's SWALCO.org. And again, these are the things that we don't collect when we do our dumpsters in the wards and that kind of thing. So generally, they're paints and that kind of product. I also want to take some time to discuss the community updates related to the largest surge in COVID-19 cases. With numbers on the rise, there's a possibility that as of today, I should say, we've changed that. There won't be a possibility. The next 2 city council meetings will be Zoom meetings. So that is it's Tuesday, January 18th because of the holiday, and then Monday, February 7th. Those 2 will be Zoom meetings, meaning that if you want to participate in audience participation, you submit that to the clerk by 4 p.m. on the date of the, so that would be Tuesday the 18th or Monday, February 7th. By 4 o'clock, you have to write your comments and have those submitted. Right now, we are only committing to those 2 dates, but those 2 will be on Zoom meetings. The COVID testing site located at 102 West Water Street is open Monday through Saturday from 8 to 4 p.m. Testing is free, and as a reminder, the City of Waukegan does not run that site. So for those of you who have asked me to send more staff over there, the city does not control the staffing at that site. We only provide the space. COVID testing is also available at Waukegan High School Brookside campus tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. All community members are welcome. No appointments are necessary at the location, and I encourage everyone who is experiencing symptoms or has been exposed to someone with COVID to get tested for free. Again, our numbers are high. I think as of this morning, we were at about 15-something%. So please take this serious. Lastly, as many of you have heard, some communities are requiring mandated proof of vaccination to enter restaurants, bars, and gyms. At this time, this is not a statewide mandate. With businesses struggling with staff shortages and concerns about how to verify the legitimacy of cards, we have decided that this would be too much of a burden on our community businesses. So we are not mandating proof of vaccination cards in the city of Waukegan at this time. We do ask that when inside a business, all staff and patrons wear masks, continue to maintain social distancing, and keep up with proper hand washing. Please take these measures and be cautious of where you shop or visit to keep yourself and your family safe. Beating COVID is a community effort, so again, I encourage all of you to get vaccinated if you are able to, and keep yourself and your neighbors safe. Again, The best thing you can do is if you find a business that you don't feel is safe, please don't patronize them. Just go someplace else, stay at home, order, online, whatever you think you need to do to keep your family safe. But we feel as a legislative body here that at this point we are not willing to mandate proof of vaccination. That's it for tonight's comments. Now on to resolutions, presentations, and appointments. Madam Clerk?
I don't believe we have any.
No, we don't have any. Audience time.
Audience time. We have a few people here. The first one will be Mr. Clyde McLemore. 3 minutes, sir.
Hello, Mayor and Council members. I am here to speak about another elephant in the room. Marijuana sales in Illinois are booming. By state law, there are supposed to be a slew of new business licenses last year with favoritism towards poor, largely minority areas and high rate of cannabis arrests, with high rates of cannabis arrests. As you can see, this never happened. However, since black and brown people feel the prisons and jails and paid with such a high price as we did, I would like to suggest, with all the extra income that the city of Waukegan will be having with these opening of these dispensaries, the city put the funds back in the communities to those that have built the city. Now, I'm sure y'all wondering, what the hell is Clyde talking about? Glad you asked. I'm talking about the big elephant in the room, named reparations. When you hear reparations, black people were promised 40 acres in the Emancipation Proclamation on January the 1st, 1863. Black people never received that. However, white slave owners did receive reparations for the loss of property. 159 years later, black people are still without generational wealth. There's a bill in Washington, HB 40, which was reintroduced by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, first introduced by John Connors in May 27 of 2014. But in June 2019, the city of Evanston voted 8-1 for property reparations. Evanston is the first city in America to do that. This was introduced by Alderman Robin Rule Simmons. By this bill, Evanston is ground zero for reparations. Evanston distribute these funds from the profit of marijuana sales. You could do this as a payment, or you could do this as property, such as in Evanston has done. There are families that have been here and invested in this city, such as the Duffys, the Handys, the Sonnettes, Edwards, Williams, the Hannahs, the Kings, for example. There are so many black families who have invested in Waukegan. Now is the time to invest in them. This will also put Waukegan on the national map, being the third city in America to repay with reparations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLemore. Mr. Rayon Edwards, please.
Before Rayon, I'm sorry, Ray. Can we have a motion to seat Alderman Kirkwood, please? I'm sorry.
Can I have a first?
So moved.
Okay, second, Alderman Rivera. All those in favor?
Aye. Sorry, Ray.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I just want to come up here to wish all you guys a Happy New Year. I wanted to especially thank all of you guys for attending the Winterfest we had at the Boys and Girls Club. Your contributions and everything you guys did helped us serve over 400 kids. Each kid walked up out of there with about 5 gifts apiece, families, Christmas baskets, and things of that nature. So thank you guys, and let that be the start of something new. I think that's the beginning on how we build a relationship with the community. You know, I know a lot of you guys are busy a lot of times, but I think we all know that with these jobs, sometimes we have to sacrifice. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I want to take this time out to send a special shout out to a citizen of the city, Miss Margaret Carresso. We didn't know that a Mickey Mouse was going to come, and for her to put that suit on for that amount of time in that hot space to sit there and take pictures with all those kids was huge. So, dear, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting a smile on them babies' faces. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Ms. Mogg or Carrasco?
Tonight, my words will be directed towards Attorney Stuart Weiss. I have several photos of Waukegan's former mayor, Sam Cunningham, wearing shirts at local recent events that say City Waukegan Mayor. Okay. Then to compound this, he's also introduced at many of the community events as Waukegan's 40th mayor, when he should instead be introduced, in my personal opinion, as Waukegan's former 40th mayor. In fact, eyewitnesses stated he attended the mayor's conference and overheard him allegedly introducing himself to others as mayor of Waukegan. When I contacted the Municipal League to verify, they refused to respond. In one article in writing by an elected official, he's also referred to as mayor. Falsely, may I remind you, falsely impersonating an employee of the United States is a federal crime punishable by a fine for up to 3 years of imprisonment. Therefore, I request to file a complaint in this matter and ask that you draft a formal cease and desist letter to Waukegan's former mayor, Sam Cunningham, and forward a copy to all elected officials in the city of Waukegan and in Lake County, and to Put a Football newspaper and What's Happening newspaper. In fact, I recently picked up a copy of Chicago's People's Voice newspaper and also Put a Football, in which the article is insinuating that North Point Casino had already secured a temporary casino. One article also claimed that they already had the city of Waukegan building demolition permits to begin work on the build-out of the temporary casino. You know, I can understand maybe not everybody was pleased with the result. It is what it is, okay? But the thing is that to intentionally state and publish false information is wrong, and it needs to stop, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Carrasco. Mayor, that concludes the audience participation time.
There is one thing that I forgot under mayor comments that I do want to show, is we have now chosen our city sticker, and this is what it'll look like. So this is honoring our piping clover at our beach, and those will go on sale starting in February. Okay. On to our consent agenda. We have a short agenda tonight. Can I have a motion? Okay, Alderman Rivera, second. Alderman Seeger. Okay, this is a motion to hear the items on consent agenda. Item A, motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from Monday, December 20th, 2021. A motion to approve vendor payments dated January 3rd, 2022 in a total amount of $974,235.04. Item C, a motion to approve regular payroll dated December 31st, 2021 in the total amount of $1,648,501.19. Item D, a motion to approve miscellaneous payroll, PD previous service credit, sick time cash out, final payout dated December 22nd, 2021 in a total amount of $31,390.81. Item E, a motion to approve miscellaneous payout, PD holiday buyback, comp time cash out, final payouts dated December 31st, 2021 in a total amount of $33,733.70. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seeger.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Kirkwood.
Aye.
No motion passed, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There being no reports and communication, and no old business or new businesses or ordinances, closing time, Alderman time.
Alderman Newsome.
Just want to wish everyone a happy new year, and as the mayor stated earlier, a prosperous new year. Stay healthy, stay safe, protect your families, protect yourselves. That's all I have.
Thank you. Alderman Turner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Excuse me. Yeah, I just want to coattail on and recognize something that Mr. Edwards stated during his audience time. And I want to thank and acknowledge Mr. Edwards and all those who participated in putting on that Winterfest down at the Boys and Girls Club. And, you know, it just so happened that one of my neighbors contacted me like 2 days before that event. He had an emergency situation where he, being an older gentleman, he and his wife had to take their grandchildren in from DCFS. They live in a very small apartment. The kids came with nothing, and it's Christmas time. He reached out to me. I went down to the Winterfest. I talked to Mr. Edwards. He immediately agreed to provide some toys, help provide some toys, and also talked to Latricia Cole from our Shining Stars Foundation. So between them, they provided toys for those children and 3 bags of groceries for the family. But I also mentioned in passing this situation to Alderman Moiseo, who immediately stepped up and insisted on providing gifts for those children. I also mentioned it to Alderman Florian, who offered, but I declined to offer because we had so much. But, you know, it just really was heartwarming at Christmas time to be able to facilitate a Christmas giving to that family. And I received a message from our neighbor, and he said it was probably the best Christmas that he's had, and certainly the best Christmas that those 2 young children, ages 5 and 6, had. So I want to thank Mr. Edwards. I want to thank Latricia Cole, and all those, Alderman Moiseo, Alderman Florian, for your willingness, and all those who participated in that Winterfest. It was a wonderful event, and I look forward to participating in the future and playing a active role in that event. Okay. All right. So in the 6th Ward, I don't have really a lot to say for once. I will mention again, as always, that to be careful, pay attention to what's going on around you. There is an uptick in crime during the holiday season, the winter, and it's our community is changing. So just be careful and pay attention. I have a 1st Ward meeting for 2022 will be on Wednesday, January 12th. And that's a strong tentative date. It may change, but I'll be publishing that in social media and blast emails that go out to my neighbors. Other than that, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Alderman Rivera.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I want to reiterate what Alderman Turner indicated, that the celebration that was put on at the Boys and Girls Club, it was electrifying. It was great to see the participation, not only of the citizens and residents of the area, but also I was really proud to see the council members that did attend. It was very heartwarming, as indicated by Alderman Turner. And congratulations, Ray. Again, fabulous event. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy New Year. Also, my condolences and sympathies to all the families that have lost a loved one, especially during this time. I know it is very difficult. Finally, I would like to thank our citizens who participated in audience time. It is difficult to stand up here and talk sometimes, but it was some good stuff today, especially the recognition that Ray brought to the community. That's all I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for coming out on such a cold, wintry night. And speaking of wintry, I'd like to thank Mr. Garland and his crew for clearing our streets this last weekend. Waukegan always does a fabulous job. So sorry it happened on a holiday, but I'm grateful you guys did the fine job you always do, so thank you for that. I too want to offer Mr. Edwards and his crew such a great congratulations on such a great event. The Winterfest was amazing, as everyone has indicated, and I'm really excited that that Boys and Girls Club is being used again. It's a great facility, and I'm happy to see that it's going to be coming back to life, and especially in that part of town. We definitely need something like that, and I look forward to many more events like that. I hope we don't have to wait till next Christmas to do another one. And then I'd also like to encourage those of you that are interested. There's a group of people led mostly by Marty Wozniak. He's a CPA here in town. He's trying to get a citywide Earth Day event together to clean up all of Waukegan at one time. And he's going to have a kickoff luncheon. It was originally scheduled for the 6th, which is Thursday, but it had to be postponed a week. I guess Greentown Tavern is doing some kind of renovations or something. So it's going to be at noon on the 13th. So anybody who's interested in that or knows someone, I'm thinking particularly of the people in the first ward that work with you, Alderman Bolton, that they might be interested. And then maybe Jennifer Yonen's group, Alderman Turner, might be interested in taking part in this. And if we can get actually participation from each ward, I'm hoping, and just kind of blanket the whole city that day, and really get the spring off to a good start. So, and again, anyone who's interested, that kickoff luncheon is at noon on the 13th at Greentown Tavern. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thanks to the fire department and also to David and Jane for hosting such a great event, and of course the Waukegan Park District. The polar bear plunge on Saturday was cold and a lot of fun. So I appreciate the hazing from the former alderman. I think Alderman Seeger said freshman alderman doesn't have a choice. You have to jump in the lake. So anyway, challenge accepted. And honestly, it was great. Everybody out there had a smile on their face, believe it or not. Well, everybody who was jumping in the lake had a smile on their face. It may have been a frozen smile, but it was still a smile. So anyway, it was a great event. There was plenty of safety, precautions put in place, and it's just really good to see that. And for those from the fire department that actually got in the water and stood in chest-deep water, I'm sure in very thick dry suits for a period of time, that's really very impressive. So thank you. And David, you did a great job on the mic. Otherwise, Director Garland, thank you. You responded to my text in seconds, and the streets, I've heard from people in my neighborhood and kind of up and down River Road and elsewhere in the 9th Ward, how quickly you guys got around to removing the snow. So thank you very much. Happy New Year to everybody. See you at the next meeting.
Thank you. Alderman Bolton.
Yes, I have to reiterate the fact, thank you, Mr. Edwards, for your participating and supporting those in the first ward, giving your winter fest. It was really exciting. I got there much later, but definitely got to take photos with you and Santa and the mayor, and it was very, very good to see the first ward come together for that. And, I just want to also reiterate the fact, you never know who you're sitting next to, who you're walking down the street next to, or because I was getting really a lot of calls of homeless individuals, and I really want to thank organizations like yourself, as well as I have to give a shout out to Mary's Mission. I got a call from notifying there was a homeless woman with 3 children sleeping in her car, and because of individuals like yourself, Mr. Edwards, and Mary's Missions and PADS, they came together and helped this woman. So I really just want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for being an instrument in bringing people together. And then I also want to say, even though we're not mandated to show proof of vaccine, really want to encourage everyone to follow the protocol, get your vaccine. And then also I want to shout out to Public Works for cleaning our streets. You all have done an awesome job, as well as our other departments. the police being there to be called on, the fire department. I just want to say thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Seeger.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy New Year and a safe one. And Mr. Ray Edwards, excellent. You did a fine job, sir. I walked in there and I seen all those kids, and all of them had smiles on their face, and it really made me feel good. I'd like to see it again next year. But thank you, sir, and whoever participated in it, I thank you very much. Have a peaceful, safe New Year. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Alderman Mosio.
Thank you. Ray, again, thanks for the invitation. You know I'm always a phone call away, whether I'm sitting up here or not. With that being said, I'll just reiterate what the mayor said. I believe in masks. I believe in vaccinations. I believe in boosters. I believe in the science. I believe in all that. But I talked to the mayor about the vaccination, proof of vaccination. We're not going to put our police department or our business owners in that position. It's just too difficult. We don't want that. At this point in this thing, this is my own personal opinion. If you're afraid, and it's like the mayor said, you think that place is not up to snuff, then don't go. That's where we're at, I think. That's just where I'm at. I've cut down where I go immensely. It is, but I'm vaccinated and boosted and wear a mask. Now, you know, I teach at the school. I don't know what that's going to be like coming back. They haven't made a decision on that. If we're in, I'll be there, you know, with a mask on, doing what I can to do my job. With that being said, I'll take over a little bit for Alderman Turner and Alderman Kirkwood, who have talked about the uptick in violence in the community, and I don't think it's just here. I think we all know it's been a lot of other places. I think we have an idea what the solutions are. We're not reinventing the wheel here. It's human nature. We're not reinventing the wheel. And anybody that's been teaching high school or been teaching as long as I have been, you understand the root causes or some of the root causes. And I try to deal with that every day, as many other of my colleagues in the school systems try to do every day. You try to build relationships with kids, and you try to help them, and you try to show them the way. And sometimes you can prevent them from making mistakes in their lives. Sometimes you cannot. But the closer you get to them, the more you know them, the more they trust you. So many things in life come down to trust. And if kids trust you, they will listen to you. If they don't trust you, they will not listen to you. So building relationships, whether it's a teacher or it's a police force or whatever it may be, I think that's what most of the people that I know in those professions try to do that. Not all, but most. With that being said, we still have to address the here and now in the uptick in violence. It's gotten, I think every alderman up here, maybe not, but I know that's the number one concern that I get as an alderman. I used to get the number one concern was speeding and speed bumps and stop signs, traffic control. And that hasn't changed, because when I took this seat over from Alderman Rickard, he told me that was going to be my number one complaint the first time I met with him, and it didn't change for a long time. Was the most consistent complaint, was speeding and not people not how to drive and all that. Everybody wants a stop sign in front of their house. But now this has overtaken it by a long stretch. And again, a lot of it comes down to human nature and society and sociology. I'm not going to get into all that. But Mayor, in the interest of trying to work together, is it a policing problem? Is it a prosecution problem? Is it a judicial problem? It all bears a sit down with the powers to be. Because, again, we represent the constituents. When they come to us with all of these problems and are scared to death to live in Waukegan, our police can only do so much. Where is the disconnect? Is it in the prosecution? Is it in the judicial? I don't know. I hear all kinds of reasonings. And this is a nationwide problem, I believe, but obviously we have to address it. Again, don't mistake this. We get the root causes. And like I just said before that, we're trying to deal with that. But the here and now is people can't be afraid to sleep in their bedroom because of a drive-by shooting and innocents get killed. I mean, how many innocent people, not here in Waukegan, but everywhere? I mean, up in Zion, my God. My God. How heartbreaking is that? I mean, we've had them here. You don't have to just watch the news. It happens all the time. We have got to get a handle on it. So I'm proposing whatever we need to do, a sit down with across the street and find out is it the laws? Because if the laws aren't there, well, then we got to talk to our representatives in the state because so many things are governed by the state. Then we got to talk to them down there and say, hey, you got to button this up. We can't have people running around in cars shooting off guns every night. So is that the problem? Or is it what the prosecution brings to the judge? Or is it the judge? But we got to find out because people want answers. They're upset. So I hate to be a bummer on Happy New Year's, but people call me all the time. They're afraid, and I'm sure other aldermen up here could echo that concern too. But we need to do that. I don't know how we broker it, how we do it, but it needs to be done. We all need to be put on notice. Police, prosecution, judicial. Thank you. Happy New Year's.
Thank you. Alderman Kirkwood.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just to reiterate what Alderman Mosio said, certainly on New Year's Day there was all kind of gunfire in the 4th Ward. And some of those things we can't get to in time, but certainly we need to address that. And each time I talk about we need more boots on the ground. I know we just had a group of individuals sworn in, but we still need to do more. And also the citizens have to let us know when things happen. And sometimes that's a little fearful in doing that. But we need to continue to set up neighborhood watch programs and give incentives like some of the other aldermen have done to stop the violence. Also, congratulations goes out to the Director of Public Works. You did an excellent job in your crew, as well as I know Mr. Edwards left, but certainly outstanding job. My email account is not functioning at this time, so if you've sent me an email, I'm working with the IT department to get some things situated in terms of the email account. But certainly my phone is working, and you can always reach me on my phone, which is 844-484-9273. Also, we're going to be having a ward meeting. I'll get that information out on social media as soon as we decide whether we're going to do it on Zoom or in a place. With the Omicron variants going very high, we need to be careful. As I stated to the mayor, I'm not in favor of showing cards. I was in Chicago on yesterday, and that's exactly what they do. I mean, before you can walk in, you got to show the card. It's got to be up to date. Then you got to show your driver's license. And certainly you got to have a mask on at all times, unless you're eating at the event. So it's something that I know that our restaurants are just having a lot of trouble, and to have someone police patrons coming in will hurt those businesses even more. So I'm in favor, as Alderman Mosio said, of vaccine and all that, but not somebody standing at the door asking you to see your card and everything else. I just think that whatever the communities in Lake County want to do that, let them do it. But certainly I won't vote for Waukegan to do that. It's hard enough just getting in a place and getting something to eat. Then you got to, pull out your wallet or your purse and get interrogated about a vaccine. It's each individual's choice in doing that. Also, Mayor, I want to find out where we are in towards of if we're going to be doing any redistricting of the map based on our population, and I would like to be on that committee so that it's equally looked at. I know it comes before the council, but certainly I would like to make sure where we are in that situation. Also, we've had several legal situations resolved past and present. And I think it's, you talked about transparency. I think it's important that whenever the council, Corporation Council, that we can release that information. I know that we put the dollar amounts because that's public information, but what really transpired in those situations that we were in closed session and we were told that we don't speak about it, but certainly the public should know what happened in those sessions that came to reward certain dollars and things of that nature that comes from the taxpayers. So I'm saying that I'd like to find out when we're going to release it, past and present. There's individuals that come up here and speak all the time. Those situations were resolved not during your administration, but other administrations. People should have access to that information. Also, it's important that as we look at whether we're going to go back to Zoom or in person, that the public certainly knows why we're doing it, because certainly we don't want to get sick trying to please the public, nor do we want to close the public out from being able to speak their mind, and certainly we need to work through that. Once again, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Stay involved, stay informed, but certainly we need to make sure that this is a city for everyone, not the chosen few. Thank you.
Okay, I think Corporate Counsel, did you want to address, was there a question? I can't remember what the first question was that Alderman Corkwood mentioned.
Yeah, it was with regard to redistricting. So we are working with the GIS specialist for the city is going to be looking at the two census numbers. The overall population of Waukegan from 2010 to 2020 only increased by approximately 300 folks. Now, what we don't assume is whether that was uniform across all wards. So the next step is that the geographic information system, which is what the city uses for both planning purposes and also certain public works purposes, is going to take a look at what those census tracts and how they lined up with the actual wards to determine if there was a substantial change that would require any movement in the wards. I will be preparing a memorandum that will go to all of the members of the City Council explaining the redistricting process, the requirements and the legal standards that need to be conformed to for that. The redistricting process needs to, it's been a lot in the news because the City of Chicago has gone through it. The City of Chicago is on a different election calendar than we are, though. So they will be going through their primary before we do. What we have advised is that the city should be done with its and have a new map ready if a new map is needed by May of this year. So we will be presenting that information before the end of the month to the City Council.
Okay, again, before we adjourn this evening, I want to remind people that the next two City Council meetings will be Zoom meetings. As most of you know, the minute I came into office, I made us come back as a council, and I will continue to do that as quickly as possible because I believe that in-person meetings are what's best for the community. But right now, with the virus as high as it is, I think it's best for both our staff and for audience that we go to Zoom. So it'll be for Tuesday, January 18th, because of Martin Luther King Day. We are a Tuesday that day. And for Monday, February 7th. Again, it's not that we don't want to hear your comments. Please submit them. You can submit them before 4 o'clock, but 4 o'clock is the deadline on the date of the council meeting. You can do it a week before if you want to, but no later than 4 o'clock that day. And we will put all this out on our city website so that everybody knows what those dates are. But again, it's for the safety of the community, and we will resume in person as quickly as possible. With that said,
Mayor, can I ask a question about that? Is there any reason why we can't have the person read their comments themselves? I mean, they can turn their camera on, read their comments, and then turn the camera off. I mean, I don't understand why it would be such a big deal to have.
because we can't have that many on Zoom. Remember what happened when the school district tried it, when everybody came on at once? So on Zoom, it's like it was before, that the comments are read by Mr. Motley. It's not that they're going to be on Zoom. They'll be able to hear the meeting and their comments can be submitted, but they will not, at this point, we don't have a dial-in number for it. We will see if we can work on that, and we don't have.
Because I think the county does it. I think they allow people to read their own
haven't seen it.
comments. I know Margaret's gone, I think, but she would know. But,
I watched their meeting last night and I did not see it that way.
okay.
But again, like I said, we are more than willing to take comments. That's not what this is about. It's making sure that everyone is safe. And like I said, at this point, we're only making the decision for Zoom meetings for the next 2 meetings. At that point, we'll reassess, and if the numbers are coming down and we feel it's safe, we'll be right back here. And again, many of you have noticed tonight, we made you sit farther apart for everyone's safety. And we will continue to put our residents' safety first. And like I said, we're only doing this for the next 2 meetings, and then we'll reevaluate at that point. With that said, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Alderman Seeger, second by Alderman Rivera. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone. Be safe.